The newest issue of Absolute Batman is freaking insane as it begins in the quiet past, inside the Wayne family home, where young Bruce sits beside his father. Thomas Wayne is reading the newspaper, his face darkened by an article about a bombing carried out by a group of extremists. Bruce, still innocent and curious, asks why people would do something so terrible. Thomas looks at the paper for a long moment before admitting that he isn't sure. Bruce asks if there's a way to stop them, to make people like that change. But Thomas shakes his head slowly. He doesn't know how to fix the world. What he does know is that he can teach, that he can help shape good people, one student at a time. Maybe that's how the world changes, not all at once, but through small hands growing into better hearts. Then he looks at his son, places a hand on his shoulder, and softly asks what he will do to make a difference one day. That question never leaves Bruce's mind. Years later, the story shifts to a small, dying town called Slaughter Swamp. It's the kind of place the world forgot. Rusted signs, broken windows, and dreams left behind in cracked roads and empty shops. Bruce drives through its silence, the Batmobile replaced by something ordinary, a truck coated with dust. He looks around at the faces of people who've stopped believing that life could ever get better. He stops at a small pawn shop tucked between broken buildings. Inside, the owner greets him and reveals the items Bruce had requested: explosives, modified rubber bullets, and other tools carefully laid out across the counter. Bruce asks one question before paying. "They're non-lethal, right?" The owner chuckles, shaking his head. "Less lethal," he replies. That's good enough for Bruce. He counts out the cash, picks up the gear, and walks outside to load everything into his truck. Before leaving, Bruce asks about the construction site on the edge of town. The store owner explains that a company had come in with big money and promises, but 3 months into construction, they vanished without a word. The site's now just metal skeletons and forgotten machinery. When Bruce asks where the workers went, the man shrugs. They came searching for something better and never found it. Before he can finish, a sound cuts through the night, a desperate voice pleading for help. It's coming from a narrow alley just down the street. The pawn shop owner glances nervously toward it and tells Bruce to stay out of it. "There's nothing you can do," he mutters. But Bruce doesn't listen. He never does. He runs toward the cries, his boots hitting the pavement hard. In the alley, he finds chaos. The same woman he'd seen at the immigrant camp is cornered by men wearing pig masks. Her young son clutches his backpack tightly, tears streaking down his face. The masked men shout at them, saying they don't belong here, saying this town isn't theirs. One of them rips the boy's backpack away and crushes his toys under his boot, laughing as plastic and dreams break together. Bruce moves before he can think. He charges in, throwing punches, trying to protect them. For a few moments, he holds his own, but there are too many of them. They overwhelm him, beating him mercilessly. His body hits the ground again and again until his vision blurs and blood fills his mouth. Moments later, their leader, DJ, appears. He walks with the kind of swagger that comes from fear, not strength. The owner tells him that Bruce is just some city boy trying to play hero, trying to save the immigrants. DJ nods slowly, then kicks Bruce hard in the ribs, knocking the air out of his lungs. "Tonight," DJ says, "we take our payback." The city turned its back on us. They let outsiders in. Now we take our town back. The group begins stomping on Bruce's body, over and over again, until a voice yells from behind them to stop. One of the priests from the camp throws himself over Bruce, using his body as a shield. He begs them to leave the man alone. But when DJ steps closer, the priest recognizes one of the pigs. His name is Jeffrey, a boy he had once known since birth. The priest pleads with him, saying this isn't who he is, that the hate in his heart isn't his own. Jeffrey hesitates. Slowly, he reaches up and removes his mask. Guilt is written all over his face. But DJ's voice cuts through the air like a whip. "Get your bikes," he orders. "We've got work to finish." Jeffrey looks down, torn, but obeys. The gang leaves Bruce bleeding in the dirt. When Bruce wakes up, he's lying on a couch in a small, old house that smells of dust and incense. His body aches all over. Father Peters, the priest who saved him, tells him the hospital was too far and that he should rest for now. Bruce looks around and notices a faded photograph on the table, young people holding protest signs, faces filled with hope. He asks the priest if that's him. The man nods. A long time ago, he says, he believed in change. He believed peace could be reached if people just listened. But peace, he admits, is a journey that never ends. Leave 5 people in a room long enough and they'll start finding reasons to hate each other. That's human nature. Bruce then asks about the tattoos on the attacker's arms. The priest grows somber. 6 months ago, he explains, a stranger came into town, an outsider with money, words, and promises. He began recruiting the angry and the lost, giving them something to believe in. He filled the holes in their hearts with darkness, convincing them that the world had stolen everything from them and that they deserved to take it back. Hearing this, Bruce rises from the couch, determination burning through his bruises. He grabs his flannel jacket and moves toward the door, but before he can step outside, the priest speaks softly. "They destroyed your truck," he says. Bruce pauses at the doorway, silent for a long moment, his jaw tightening. The fire in his eyes hasn't dimmed, not even a little. Bruce continues searching through the wreck of his truck until his hand lands on a metal suitcase buried beneath the debris. Inside lies his gear, black, worn, and heavy with purpose. The priest, standing nearby, pleads with him to stop. He warns Bruce that if he goes back out there, he'll only end up broken again. But Bruce doesn't even look at him. He just says quietly, "Sometimes, peace isn't an option." At the same time, on the other side of town, DJ and his followers gather near the old highway. They laugh and drink, their masks hanging loose around their necks. Police cars pull up, but instead of stopping them, the officers step out and join in. They share a joke, as if this night were some kind of celebration. Then the cops put their masks on too. DJ raises his arm and shouts, and they all start marching toward the encampment. The immigrants never see it coming. The first screams echo through the swamp as the men rush in, swinging bats and chains, setting tents on fire. Families scatter in every direction. The night burns with violence. And in the distance, Bruce Wayne moves through the smoke, ready to face the darkness head on, because if words have failed, only his will remains. The night turns into chaos. Every immigrant the masked mob finds is beaten without mercy, their screams echoing across the swamp. The leader, DJ, walks among the violence like a prophet of madness. His voice rises over the sound of fists and fire as he shouts about power, about truth, claiming that he is the new face of strength. He raises his hand in salute, preparing to declare himself as something greater than man, until a dark shape cuts through the flames. A shadow appears behind him, tall, silent, and furious. Bruce grabs DJ's arm mid-scream and bends it backward until it snaps. DJ howls in agony as his followers stumble back in shock. One of them tries to strike Bruce with a bat, but Bruce counters with a brutal kick that sends the man spinning into the dirt. Another charges with a knife, but Bruce lifts him clean off the ground and slams him down with the strength of a falling mountain. But the violence doesn't stop there. The pawn shop owner, the same man who betrayed Bruce, appears again, clutching the young immigrant boy by the collar, pressing a pistol to his head. "Back off," he shouts. Bruce doesn't hesitate. He throws 3 batarangs in rapid succession, each one finding its mark, 2 buried deep in the man's eyes, the third shattering his gun hand. Bruce closes the distance in a blur and drives his knee into the man's face until he drops. As the man falls, Bruce notices a key ring hanging from his belt. He rips it off without thinking. Later, those keys will matter. Then it's only DJ left, stumbling backward, terrified. His confidence turns to pleading as he waves his gun wildly, firing in every direction. Batman doesn't stop. He crashes into him, driving blow after blow until DJ's face turns to ruin under his fists. The rage behind each strike feels heavier than justice. It feels personal. But before the final hit lands, Father Peters appears. He throws himself between them, the same way he once saved Bruce. His voice breaks as he pleads for the violence to stop. Batman hesitates for a moment, glaring at him, demanding to know why he's protecting this man. The priest answers softly that this won't fix anything, that he doesn't know how to make things better, only how to make them worse. His words echo the past, a reflection of the same question Bruce once asked his father. For a second, silence falls. Then Batman says this is his way, and he keeps hitting DJ. It's no longer about saving lives or punishing criminals. It's about something deeper, something broken. Meanwhile, the surviving members of the gang regroup inside one of their houses. They call for reinforcements, loading every gun and grabbing every blade they can find. Their fear twists into fury. But outside, Bruce is already preparing his next move. When he looks down at the key ring he stole, he notices one marked for heavy equipment, a dump truck parked behind the pawn shop. Inside the hideout, the men scramble for weapons. One shouts to grab more guns, another asks about the shop owner's supplies, but the answer is grim. Everything's gone. They have nothing left. And then the headlights stop outside. Batman doesn't hesitate. The engine roars, and the entire building shakes as the machine rams through the walls. Wood and metal explode around them. Gunfire erupts, bullets bouncing off armor. Batman leaps from the vehicle, swinging an axe through the smoke, cutting through the mob with brutal precision. There's no hesitation, no warning, just vengeance. A terrified man shouts for him to stop, yelling that they're human beings. But Batman doesn't see them that way anymore. He looks down at the trembling man and says coldly that they're roaches, and there's only one way to deal with roaches. He reaches for a flamethrower, ignites it, and sets the entire house ablaze. The flames swallow everything, men, weapons, sins, and all. The priest arrives, rushing to the fallen men, wrapping their burns with strips of cloth. Bruce watches, confused. "Why are you helping them?" he asks. The priest doesn't answer right away. He just says, "Because it's the only way I know." Bruce looks at him for a long time before walking away. Batman climbs back into the machine and drives off. The night behind him burns red, reflected in his eyes. The road winds toward the mountains, and soon the machine disappears into the dark mouth of the Batcave. There, in the silence, Bruce stops and stares at a photograph, his father, smiling beside an old friend. It's the same photograph that once sat on Father Peters's table. His father's words echo in his mind, about teaching, about making a difference, about being more than just one man. Bruce remembers that conversation like it's happening now. He once told his father that he wanted to be like him, that his work made the world better, that he changed things. His father laughed softly, saying that maybe he did, maybe he didn't. That photo, he said, was taken before the mustache, back when they thought they knew everything and really knew nothing at all. But even then, he believed in Bruce. He told his son that he had a strong and compassionate heart, that he only needed to believe in it. Now that memory feels poisoned. Bruce looks down at his gloved hands, still stained with blood, and realizes how far he's drifted from that compassion. His father's voice lingers. "No matter what you do, I'll always be proud of you." But Bruce can't feel pride. He can only feel the weight of betrayal, of his father's memory, of his own ideals. The Batmobile sits silent behind him, smoke rising from its frame, and for the first time in years, Batman breaks. Alone in the dark, surrounded by the echoes of what he's done, he collapses to his knees. This is not triumph. It's not victory. It's the beginning of something darker,